All right, we are recording. Welcome everyone to the team call. Today was like lit. If you guys didn't see all of the rank advancements, congratulations Jocelyn and Andrea and Shelby for 2-star qualifying and Heather to call. But that was like insane. Like last night, that was just like boom, 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 boom. Obviously it didn't all happen in one night. Oh, you obviously worked hard for it, but still. But I messaged Shelby like last week and I was like, I think like a really good topic right now would be getting through the hard, because I feel like a lot of people are struggling, or they do struggle like anyone else does in the business. So I thought this would be like a great topic for us. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Shelby, I wanted you to talk about what you heard today, or what like whatever like inspired you, or whatever you wanted to share with us before we
Yeah. Okay. My head is like spinning from all the information. I'm like, today I learned things I didn't even know I needed to know. And it's day one. And I was like, holy shit. But super crazy experience, even just to be here by myself, I feel like is so rewarding. Like I'm just taking everything with like such an open heart, because everyone's a stranger and there's no one that I can like be feared of judgment from. So super cool. Would highly recommend. So far out of my comfort zone, so much money and time to bet on myself. But if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. Because even today, if I had to go home today, it would have been worth all the time and money. So highly recommend that to start. But we had fire speakers today. We had Rachel, Dave. We also had Mally Roncal, and my favorite was Trent Shelton. And his, we, like Shawna said, we had planned this talk like a few weeks ago, but then his talk today was like so straight to what, like the hard truths that I feel like are so important to getting through the hard in this business specifically. So I took like tons and tons of notes, and I went through them after and quickly kind of took out like the 4 key bullet points that I want to share with you guys tonight. And so this is how to get through the hard. And my part of how to get through the hard is by having a championship mindset. So these are 4 principles that you need to have a championship mindset. So the thing that you think about this is, if you know in your heart that Beachbody is what you want to do and that you want to be a coach, quitting needs to be off the table. Quitting is not an option. The only option is success. And if that's the mindset that you live in, then that's the only thing that can happen, because no matter how long it takes, it's still going to happen. The thing about the speakers today, every single person on the stage had been in business for at least 10 years. At least 10 years. Rachel Hollis has been in business for 16 years and no one paid attention to her until the last 2. Beachbody, we're really fortunate, is not the same business model. So you don't have to be in business for 14 years to see success and to see extreme income and impact. So we're really, really lucky that way. But think of this as long-term. And the first step to doing that is by taking quitting off the table. If you give yourself the option, that's always going to be your out. So the first thing, the first like really principle is commitment. So one thing that we really talked about today is that inconvenience exposes commitment. Inconvenience exposes commitment. So if you only show up for your business when it's easy, you're not committed. If you only show up for your business when you have nothing else going on, you are not committed. If you only show up for your business, like if you have a rank to hit and you choose to go out that night, you're not committed to your business. There's a difference between commitment and being interested. And commitment is, it goes back to your why. You have to be deeply rooted in why you're doing this business. And if you don't have that strong, solid foundation of a why, take time tonight to brain dump. Think back to why you began. Really why you began, not the surface level, not the money. What is that money going to do for you? If you signed up to change someone's life, like what does that mean? Dig deeper, peel back the layers, and get honest with yourself. The other thing too, I feel like we see so much in this business is people say like, yeah, like I want to hit diamond like sometime this year, or like, yeah, I want to hit Success Club, or yeah, I want to hit Emerald. But do you think Michael Jordan starts the season thinking that he'll just play the season and see what happens? Absolutely not. Michael Jordan starts the season with the championship as the goal. So if you're starting this month and you're like, yeah, we'll see what happens, I'll just run my business and see. If you want to do this as a hobby, my conversation is really not geared towards you. But if you're someone who thinks you want to have success and wants to be a diamond coach and wants to have a significant income, don't start the month with yeah, I'm going to go for Success Club 5. Because if you only aim for Success Club 5, all you're ever going to hit is 5. Dream big. Shawna just posted about her vision board. And I was just talking to my mom about this tonight. Every single thing I put on my vision board, except for one thing, came to fruition as of today.
Mm-hmm.
And in January, I remember feeling sick posting that vision board in the Team Inspire Tribe page, because I was like, what are people going to think of me? How dare I call my shots to the universe? Those dreams are too big. And I posted anyways, but I was embarrassed. And I sit here today, and it's not even the end of the freaking year, and every single thing came true. So what can you dream of for 2020? How big can you go? Because that's what I'm challenging myself to do. Because if I never would have put those things on paper, they never would have come true. But call your shots. Start the year thinking you're going for the championship. Start the month going for the championship. Don't settle for anything less, and push yourself. Because even if you miss the championship, maybe you made it to the semifinals. And that's farther than you would have gotten if you would have just gone with the flow. So that's number 1. Number 2 is resilience. Control your emotions. So many times in this business, we see people who let how they feel affect how they work their business. And I've been guilty of it myself too. But if you don't feel like it, that doesn't mean you don't show up. If you only show up on the days and you feel like it's the same as your fitness journey, if you only show up when you feel like working out, you're never going to see the progress that you want to see. And the other thing that goes with that is disassociating a negative emotion with no, or with a negative feedback. Today I was riding on my high horse with the rank advancements and going to this conference and having the best day ever. And some girl messaged me this huge paragraph about why she doesn't believe in MLMs and how we're scamming people by trying to get more coaches on our team. And if I didn't have the mindset of long-term championship, that would have crushed me. That would have ruined my day. But my vision is so long-term that this girl's just like a speck in the dust when I'm going to look back on this in a year. If it doesn't matter in 6 months from now, if it doesn't matter then, if it's not going to matter then, don't let it matter today. So many people say, oh, I had someone lined up and they didn't sign up this week, or they said they were going to sign up as a coach and then they didn't work their business. What would the coach that you want to be think about that situation? How would she react? How would the 5-star diamond react to a coach cancellation? How would a 2-star diamond react to someone ghosting them? Don't let that defeat you. And what you give attention to is where the attention goes. Shawna said this the other day. If you focus on that one person that said no, all you're going to get is no's, because that's all you can see. So flip that mindset, develop the emotional resilience, and really, really pour into personal development. That's the action item there. Step 3 is discipline. Say this all the time. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? I literally have that written on my mirror. How bad do you want it? When my alarm goes off at 5 a.m., how bad do you want it? The other thing with this is get great at saying no to the things that don't get you the yes. Get legendary at saying no. For me, and Trent touched on this today, my thing is I love to party. I love to party. I love to be the life of the party. I love to go out and everything. But when I look at, does that align with the vision of where I want to be? Every time I go out, I wake up feeling guilty the next day because that is not in line with my goals. I know that best version of me, she doesn't do that. The girl that I want to be, the success that I want to have, there is no room for that. And maybe the success you want isn't as extreme as what I'm pushing myself to be. But when I reflect, that doesn't align with where I'm going. So that's something I worked really hard to cut out of my life. And I used to party every single weekend, but that's something that I've had to say, what am I willing to sacrifice to get to where I want to be? What am I willing to sacrifice today to be the leader that I want to be 10 years from now? What do I want my business to look like? What did Rachel Hollis do 10 years ago to get where she is today? And the last one I have is consistency. So raise your hand. How many of you go to a job or school every day where you don't love what you're doing? You dislike it, maybe you hate it, okay? And you go there every day, right? So how does it make sense that you're willing to show up to something every day that you don't love when you aren't willing to show up to the thing that you do love? Coaching. Think about that. We go every day. We wake up, we go to school, we go to work, and it's working someone else's dream. But when it comes down to it, to the thing that's building the future that you want, you're willing to do the same thing. I think I'm frozen.
Right there.
Am I frozen? Everyone else is frozen.
I can hear you, but you're not moving.
Okay, you guys are all frozen. Can you hear me now?
Oh.
Okay. And the last point, the last one I had is, if that's a situation that you're in, you don't have a consistency problem, you have a commitment problem. So that goes back to thinking of, are you committed or are you interested? And that on fire. I hope it is recorded so you guys can watch the full thing, because obviously I don't do it any justice. There's so many more details into this that I was just like, yes. But that's like my main takeaway, so I want to share that with you guys because I feel like it's super powerful. And even for me on the days that like, man, like it's gonna get hard. That's the thing too, is there's like no, it's not like if and maybe it will. It's gonna get hard. It's freaking hard. Do you know how many times I wrote down the date of going 2-star? How many times over the last 10 months I've done that? And we missed it. And we missed it. And we missed it. And we missed it. But every single time we had to pick back up the pieces. And every single time it was like a crush because I thought I thought we could do it by now. And it's so easy to let that get you down and let that like devastate your business. But you can be sad for a minute. But then when you wake up the next morning, you get right back to the grindstone, because quitting is not the answer, and giving up or sitting back or self-sabotaging and not showing up to do the actions that day is not going to get you any closer. Same with like Shawna, same thing as like she was lined up for 3-star qual and dropped the last week. She could have let that devastate her. Half of you guys probably didn't even know that. Like, she could have let that wreck her business and walk away. And she chose, you know what? No matter how long it takes, we're going to pick the pieces back up and make this happen. Because her long-term championship mindset is bigger than that small, minor detail. And that struggle is going to be the thing that gives Shawna the resilience to be the leader that she wants to be when she's going for 15-star, when she's trying to help other leaders on her team get to 3-star, when she's trying to help other people overcome the struggles that they're going to face in their businesses. That's taught her the lesson. So yeah, that's kind of me. That's what I had to say.
True, Shelby. Preach it. Shelby pretty much said everything that I had written down, but there was a couple things that I did want to talk about. Because I even talked about this with Shelby, because I feel like a lot of people are going through this. So the first thing I wrote down was like realign with your why, but obviously that Shelby said that. The second thing was like something you should really think about is like, are you actually loving the fitness program that you're doing? Like, are you just doing Morning Meltdown 100 just to do Morning Meltdown 100, or are you actually liking it? Or are you just doing like 21 Day Fix just to do 21 Day Fix? Or are you just following 6 weeks of the work just to do it? Like, you need to actually enjoy what you're doing, so you're not just faking it till you make it and just pretending that you like it. You have to actually enjoy your fitness journey, and if you're not, then I would switch it up. The third thing was, how are you showing up on social media, and are you showing up on social media? You should be showing up on your Instagram stories at least 5 to 10 times a day. We're teaching our new coaches this right now. And if you've been a coach for longer than whatever, I highly recommend you still be showing up 5 to 10 times on your Instagram stories and posting.
But that's the bare minimum.
Pardon?
So that's like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like, how the heck are people ever supposed to get to know you if you only show up 5 times a day and it's photos? Like, you want people to feel like they know you, they like you, they trust you. That's the whole thing about it. And I think like we teach new coaches 5 to 10. So like if you are aiming for diamond, you need to set your goals higher for sure.
It's true. What else? Oh, the number 4 that I had written down was, what does your inviting and messaging look like? Are you using somebody else's script, or did you make it your own? That's another thing Shelby and I were talking about, is we feel like a lot of, like, I do share my graphics with you guys, but like, feel free to make it your own so that all of our stuff isn't looking the same, if that makes sense. You want people to get to know who you are, and you don't want people to think we're just kind of doing this like I feel like you need to show who you are and do your own kind of thing, you know what I mean? So like, for instance, for inviting, you want to sound like who you sound on social media, who you sound in real life. You don't want your invites to look like it's like a copy and paste, even though we do copy and paste our invites, but you want it to sound like who you are. And if it sounds salesy, then it probably is salesy.
The one thing to talk about too, Sean, is oh, it was just in my brain. Like, obviously don't reinvent the wheel. Like, those resources are created for you for a reason. Don't reinvent the wheel, but like, what's the why should someone sign up with you instead of any other Beachbody coach on the planet? Because there's 400,000. So why should they pick you? And think about, what's the thing that makes you unique? What's going to set you apart? Like, when I think of what kind of team did I want to be a part of, it was one with thriving community. One team I always look to build that, and they're actually here, I'm hoping to connect with them, is Kim Fitzpatrick has 2 coaches, and they branded themselves as the sisterhood. And I think that is the most unique thing I've seen with Beachbody, is they completely took Beachbody, which is the vessel, and made it, what could they do with that, thinking outside of the box. So I challenge you to do the same, to think like outside of the box. You don't have to run challenge groups on Facebook just because everyone does. And that's like what I'm challenging myself to do too. But another thing is like, the reason why me and Shawna kind of separated to run our boot camps and stuff is so that we could develop our leadership skills. For me, at least, develop those skills and make it unique and make it different. And yes, we're still a team, and yes, we still work together really great, but don't be afraid to break off and do your own thing if what your leader is doing doesn't exactly align with what you see for yourself. If you have a completely out of the box idea, run with it. Try it. What's the worst that can happen? And I think it's so easy to get stuck in this is the way we've always done it, so this is the way we have to do it. But month after month, that's like, who wants to do Beachbody for 10 years if that's the way it's going to be for 10 years? So yeah.
It's true. It's not like, I feel like a lot of us want to, like, so for instance, after I came home from Summit, like, this was the first time I opened a team page, and I've had a team forever. Like, you really want to step out of the box and start doing things for yourself and your business, because that's how you're going to grow. And then the last thing I really had was give yourself grace and focus on the good too. Like we said, like, what you focus on is what you focus on. If you think that you're doing a shitty job, if you think that you can't send good invites, if you think that you're not being a good Beachbody coach, like, then that's what is going to be focused on your mind. But you need to have that mindset that you believe in yourself and that you can reach it. So that's what I had. I don't know, like, what do you guys think, like, what would benefit you guys more? Like, what, like, is there anything more that we could do to help you guys? Put it in the chat.
I think you guys have given us all the tools, and it's up to us. For real. You guys have like tough love, like, to be honest, like, when it comes to, like, what I've noticed lately is when it comes to your business, it's your business, and you can have like the best coach above you, but it's still really up to you to get where you want to be. You guys, of course, like, push us like to our limits, and you're always there to motivate us, which is like absolutely amazing. But like, since like I've really gotten into the biz, it's kind of like it's really up to me. It's just like starting the programs. Like, anytime somebody makes an excuse, I'm like, that's your, like, it's you. Like, there's nothing I can do about the fact you don't want to change. So it's kind of like having that mindset of like, if you want it, go get it. So you guys have definitely pushed us in that direction and kind of put that mindset into me as well too. So thank you.
the thing is that too, like, know that we're never like yelling at anyone or like mad at anyone. This all comes from somewhere of, we want you all to succeed. We want to run a team of leaders. And so we are saying these things to push you to your potential. Because if you want it, you can have anything, like you can have anything in this business you dream of. You just have to be willing to put in the work.
So true. And proof from today, from all those rank advancements, like it didn't just happen all in one day or 1 week or whatever. Like that was like consistently showing up and pushing through the hard. Like Jocelyn, you show up on all the team calls and all the power hours and every morning, and like everyone, like a lot of people in here do. So it's gonna pay off for everyone if you're always showing up. So let's take a picture.
There's something in the chat. It says, I'm not sure whose this is, but that's okay.
Says,
I'm terrible at setting goals, so being told what I can do would help. For example, you can run a sneak peek, you can talk about this. So it all comes down to this. Shawna and I are here to mentor you and lead you the same way Danielle is, but at the end of the day, it's your business. So whether you succeed or you fail, that's on yourself. Same with me. If I succeed or I fail, that's not on Shawna, that's on me. I think like you're definitely not alone in this, whoever this is, because people like, I would love to have a team page where everyone goes live and everyone shares what's working and there's no hesitation and people just pop on, but people think that like they can't do that because it's not their team, but this is our team and it's your business and you can run it however the heck you want to do it. We're never going to come to you and say, you know what, like you shouldn't have run your own sneak peek. You shouldn't have run the boot camp groups. Like you can do whatever you want with your business and we're always going to be here to support you, because maybe the way we're doing it isn't the best way that it can be done. Maybe the way that we're doing it isn't working for you, and that's totally okay. It's up to you to find what works for you. And then when you do, share that with everyone else, because there's likely other people on the team who are struggling with the same thing that you just found the solution to. So there's nothing that you can't do or can't talk about. It's totally up to you. We do curiosity marketing, but if you want to say, hey, maybe curiosity marketing isn't working the greatest, let's try actually talking about the programs, go for it. No one here is judging you. It's your business. And that's another thing they talked about today, is taking extreme ownership. And whether you succeed or you fail, that's on you. Whether your team succeeds or you fails, that's like taking ownership for what you can control. And those are things that you can totally control.
Amen, sister. Questions, comments, concerns?
I had a question. I know I talked a lot. I'll shut up after this. But so today they also talked about something they call postmortem. And so they do this, like the Hollis company does this for events or like launches or whatever. And so what they do is they basically meet as a team and say like, what worked well, what sucked, what should we never do again, what should we do 10 times harder. And that's something I would love to implement with my team at least, but I feel like it would be helpful the bigger the group, because when we have launches like this, like we just had with Peppermint Mocha, let's get on here and say, okay, let's make a list. What worked super well? Who tried what and what didn't work? And maybe like where did we miss the mark? And let's brainstorm. So next launch, we have all these lists of things that we can try to make it better. Same thing with the boot camp groups. I want to sit down with everyone I run the boot camp with and say, okay, what's crushing it? What do people love? What do people hate? What can we do more of? And let's use that feedback to shape how we're going to do it next month, instead of just doing the same thing over and over and over again and hoping that like people like it, when really we don't really have that feedback. So I feel like that would be required that goal. Am I frozen?
You just sound like a robot. But no, I totally agree with that. I love that. Because I feel like the boot camps are a constant, like, we should try this and we should try this. But like, we're definitely trying something different in November, and I guess we can see how that goes.
I feel like that would be a good like team call topic, is like how to run a good challenge group. Like I just like recently, like I think like 2 months ago, like broke away from Riley and started doing my own. But I'm having a really hard time getting people engaged. Like I have a decent amount of people in the group and I do all these post all these challenges, nobody does anything. And it's super frustrating. So it would be like really helpful to, I don't know, get some tips on like what works for you and how you get people engaged.
Yep, I agree.
I feel like that's something we always struggle with too, even in my groups, is finding that balance of having people engaged and keeping them engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should totally do a team call on that. The next few weeks, so we have Sammy Glonek next week. Holy shit, I'm pumped. And then I think Danielle had someone lined up for the week after.
I don't know for when, but she did.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyways, it might have to be at the end of the month, but that would be good for December. So we could totally do that.
Or even if we did one kind of like on our teams for 2019, what did we crush it at this year as kind of like the end of year thing? What do we want to change next year? Like, what are our goals? What worked well? What can we double down on? What should we spend less time doing? To kind of set the pace for, obviously we'll do like a vision board call, but maybe that's like a good idea for that too.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Other than that, I think that's everything. Yes. Okay.
Questions, feedback?
Yeah.
I want to go to this conference, Shelby. Like you were talking, like almost bawling. I was like, holy shit, like a slap in the face.
I feel like I did attend. I feel like I attended the first day after that. I was like, damn!
1 hour. My mind was blown by like 10 a.m. I was like, I was not ready for this.
He's doing one in Toronto, March. What weekend, Star? We're going. We made it non-negotiable. Yeah. It's in March 5th to 7th. We're going. We made it non-negotiable. We were literally talking while Shelby was just talking. I'm like, we have to go.
Oh, that's before Dominican.
March is going to be a wild month, people. Wild.
Oh, sorry, I was going to read in the chat, but I guess we're all right, wait, before everyone leaves. Boomerang or pick?
Are you still recording?
Yes. Always. I don't care. Oh, Jocelyn. Okay, it'll be a picture. Okay, ready? Got it. Wait. All right, now I'll stop recording.